Fighting between rival factions in Lebanon's largest refugee camp for Palestinians is forcing a growing number of them to seek safety elsewhere. Lebanese army commanders say 5 soldiers were wounded when shells fired from the Ain Al Helweh camp landed nearby. 5 people in the camp have been killed and dozens injured since a ceasefire between Palestinian armed groups ended on Friday. Well, Ain Al Helweh is near the southern city of Sidon. It's home to around 50,000 Palestinians who live there in cramped conditions. Let's speak to our correspondent, Ain Al Helweh. She joins us now from there. Zaina, as this continues to escalate, so many have felt that they've had no choice but to leave. Where are they ending up, and are they getting help?
Well, it's a desperate situation. Hundreds of families have escaped the fighting. They've left their homes in Ain Al Helweh. Others remain trapped inside. In some neighborhoods, it's just too difficult to venture out, to reach outside the camp. We are at one mosque very close to the camp where a few hundred families are seeking shelter. So they're seeking shelter in mosques, in schools, and the situation, like I said, is desperate because these people were poor to begin with. The majority of Palestinians in Lebanon, there's an approximately 250,000 Palestinians, between 50 to 70,000 live in Ain Al Helweh. They are poor. If they do not work today, they cannot put food on the table. They're relying on support from local charities, local NGOs, even the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, UNRWA, which is the UN agency that is supposed to provide them with services because Palestinians are denied services and rights in Lebanon, is a cash-strapped organization. Even before the latest round of fighting, they were complaining about the lack of funding. They were complaining that they would not be able to continue their services until the end of the year. During last month's bouts of violence, they said up to 400 homes were destroyed and they need $15.5 million to rebuild those homes. And now, with this latest round of battles, more homes are being destroyed, which means they're going to need much more money.
Zaina, where are we at with any kind of mediation efforts to try to stop the fighting?
Well, it's day 5. Clashes are continuing since that 1-month truce collapsed late on Thursday night. There have been repeated attempts to mediate a ceasefire, to implement a ceasefire on the ground. So far, they have failed. Now, there will be a new attempt to mediate an end to the fighting this afternoon. What we understand is that the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, his Fatah movement, is at war with a number of groups inside the camp under the banner of the Muslim Youth. He has sent a special envoy to Lebanon, Ain Al Ahmad. He will be attending a meeting with top-ranking Lebanese security officials as well as representatives of Lebanon's army to discuss the possibility of creating a joint security force to enter the camp, to implement law and order, to ensure that the assassins of a senior Fatah commander is handed over, and to ensure that armed fighters vacate UN-run schools. Now, we've heard this time and time again. Will this happen? It's still unclear. But both sides know that this is not going to be an easy battle. It will be costly and it will be long because this is a densely populated camp where there are narrow alleyways. So it's going to be a very difficult fight. We have to wait to see whether the latest mediation attempt will bear any fruit later today.